Hello and welcome to the Dreams Come True podcast. My name is Austin Hinson, and the man sitting across from me today is, and always,
Moneybags Ryan Monroe.
Ryan Monroe.
Yeah.
How you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. It's good to be back at this. We've taken a little bit of a break. We went away for winter break. Ryan went back to his hometown. I stayed here in good old Wilmington, North Carolina, and it's good to get back here. Shout out to Darian, the producer. We kind of have a new setup now, so this is first time trying this out, and had a little bit of trouble starting things up, but I think we are doing all right.
Yeah. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the future.
We got stuff coming.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Got to shake.
We got some moves. We got some shakes. We have a couple podcasts in the work outside of this one in particular. We have a couple interviews lined up or that we're working out, so that should be exciting. But today, bringing you the classic, just sports news, what's going on in the world. We actually have a guest here. He's not coming in just yet, but him and Ryan are going to talk about some stuff that we haven't really talked about. But so that should be fun. Anyways, Ryan just informed me that he is not aware of the news about Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. Is this correct?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it because I've been so focused the past 2 weeks or so. I've been getting all these good ideas, and so I've just been writing them down and thinking and stuff.
So this one kind of slipped by. I mean, it only happened, I think, last night.
Yeah, I saw people saying or video titles and stuff, but I didn't actually click on any of them.
I got you. So here's what happened. So the Celtics beat, who was it? They beat the Raptors. That was why it's a big deal. The Celtics have been on a 3-game losing streak, and they beat the Raptors. Kyrie had 27 points and a career-high 18 assists. So he was balling last night. Now, Kyrie had previously called out his teammates, basically talking about the young guys, saying I don't know if they're ready for winning a championship, saying we need to get this thing moving because they were expected to be one of the better teams in the East, especially with LeBron leaving. And that's just, they have not really met the expectations. Gordon Hayward coming back from the injury hasn't been what we thought he was. Jaylen Brown not really stepping up in the way that we thought he could. Jason Tatum kind of taking a bit of a back seat since Kyrie came back because I don't know if he knows what his role is, because when Kyrie was out, Jason was, you saw him in the playoffs.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's a beast.
He was balling, straight up balling. And when Kyrie was out, they were, one away from going to the NBA Finals. But so Kyrie said all that. Last night after they got that win, Kyrie did an interview, and he said that he called LeBron earlier in the week, basically to apologize for being the young player that was hard to work with.
Ooh.
He called him saying, he's and this is the first time I think I've heard Kyrie talk about the things that people had talked about him feeling in the news, where he mentioned the fact that, he had just made an all-star team, and then he was going to have to, and then LeBron comes in, he's having to change his whole game, and he was upset. He's like, I was upset about that. He was saying, that he wanted to be that guy, and he wanted to be the man in Cleveland, and then LeBron coming back kind of put a halt to that. And he basically said, what LeBron was doing at the time, I didn't see, what he was doing as, I saw that as hurting my game. But what he was doing was just being a good leader, and he called him and apologized for all that, and just got some advice about being a leader. And I know your feelings about LeBron, so let's hear what you guys say about that.
So I think Kyrie is kind of correct, because the thing with being the main player on a team is you have to set an example, especially I think because Kyrie felt that he was gonna be the main guy. And then with LeBron coming back, like you said, it kind of put a damper in that. What Kyrie was he was jealous really of LeBron kind of stealing his thunder. Kyrie, he knows he's a really good player. He's got great skills. He does a lot of nice things too with the ball, and he's real creative. But that kind of puts a damper on it. And I felt like the whole time LeBron was there, he didn't really have a chance to show fully what he was capable of doing. So that's why I think he really wanted to go out on his own, because he's got kind of like that alpha male personality. Like, he wants to be the main guy. I want to be the leader. This
And
is
he's
my
okay
team.
with that.
Yeah,
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. But he really likes that persona. But LeBron also has a little bit of that as well. And then we have two leaders, two people who consider themselves leaders, and they come together. They kind of clash a lot. So I think that's what he was kind of saying.
But here's the thing. Kyrie is definitely the best individual player on the Celtics. Would you say so?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Skill-wise, definitely.
Skill-wise, definitely the best individual player on the Celtics. So why were they doing better when he was off the court?
Well, they were doing better because they had to go back to what Brad Stevens built there.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Brad Stevens hasn't had had probably the most success he had without a mega superstar. Would you say so?
Yeah,
because he had Isaiah Thomas. He had Isaiah Thomas, and they got the 1 seed that year when Isaiah had that almost MVP
they were
season.
in either number 1 or number 2. Yeah, they were up there. I know that for sure.
But Isaiah Thomas, while he worked in Brad Stevens' system, throughout his career, you wouldn't call him a superstar. He had a great season, but I don't think you would ever call him a superstar.
No, the Brad Stevens system, what it does is it makes a lot of players look better than what they actually are. So if you look at Jay Crowder, everybody's like, man, why did the Celtics get rid of Jay Crowder? He's a good player. He's a phenomenal player. But he looks like trash on some other teams because he's not in the system. It's all about the system. It gets the best out of the team as a whole, not individuals.
I mean, watching some of the plays that Brad Stevens draws up, it's so interesting because you don't see coaches do stuff like that. Like all the off-ball screens.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of them.
And you could tell how it could confuse the defense. Like it's really fascinating to watch. But I don't think Brad has ever really had to deal with an alpha like Kyrie.
No,
you know what I mean?
He hasn't, because Gordon Hayward, he hasn't had a lot of phenomenal players to work with in the years he's been a coach and the years he's been in the NBA and in college. So Kyrie is definitely the best player he's ever coached. So I think he's trying to learn how to coach and integrate a phenomenal talent like that into the team.
And I don't think that Brad Stevens, I don't think that he'll fail at that. I think that he's just learning. I mean, he's so young, too. He's such a young coach that I think that, this will be good experience for him once he does get more superstars to come.
Brad Stevens is used to getting the most out of average players because when he was at Butler, it's not like they were getting like Duke-level talent or UNC or Kentucky-level talent. So he just had to raise the level of the talent he was given.
He took him to, 2 finals?
Yeah.
2 NBA, or not NBA, NCAA finals.
Yeah.
And that's
amazing at a school like Butler.
In a row. Was it in a row? Or was it like 2 out of 3?
I think it was 2010 and 2000.
Because that was around the same time VCU was.
Yeah, it was like
doing
2010 and 2011 or 12, one of those. I think it was two in a row. But if we're wrong, we're wrong. But it was close together.
But that's so impressive, especially for a young college coach like that. And then he goes to the Celtics and turns that program around, because you saw what happened.
They were horrible.
You saw what happened after the prime of the big three, and your boy Rondo was the only one left.
Shame. Yeah, that team got disintegrated, but I think he did. That just shows that Brad Stevens, he's used to making the most out of what he's given, though.
Yeah.
So if he's giving scraps, he's gonna make firewood out of it. I guess.
Kind of going back to the whole Kyrie apologizing thing, I think that was a cool move by Kyrie, because you saw all the drama that was happening when he was leaving Cleveland. He was saying well, if you guys won't trade me, I'll just have surgery and be out for the entire season. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. He was causing a scene. And that kind of did make Kyrie look a little bad, because it made him look like a diva. I was like, Kyrie, what are you doing?
That's that Kobe syndrome coming.
It's selfish, but sometimes to be successful, you got to be selfish. But Kyrie, he took it a little bit overboard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but I think that he's kind of growing up, and you can kind of see it with him apologizing to LeBron, with him, yeah, kind of starting to. I mean, he's still got a ways to go, but him starting to really accept the role as kind of a leader of the team.
Yeah, he's starting to mature a lot more.
Even
though a lot of people
looking physically older.
He does.
He looks
really
ancient.
old. That's that
and
NBA
with that
stress, man.
Scruffy beard.
Yeah, he's starting to get some gray hairs too.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, I was kind of happy to see it, but Kyrie's gonna be Kyrie. Question, real quick: Terry Rozier probably gonna leave the Celtics.
Thank God.
What do you think he's gonna do after he leaves the Celtics? Because he's gonna get paid like a starting point guard, and he's gonna start somewhere.
Hopefully he'll make his way to the G League, but I'm not gonna wish it on him. I don't like Terry Rozier's game. I'm sorry.
Scary Terry.
He's another product of Brad System's.
I think he's overrated
Stevens'
too.
System.
But you know he's gonna get paid.
Yeah,
and you know that some team's gonna start him.
Some team is always gonna reach for a guard. Teams do
it's gonna
it
be
all
like
the
it's
time.
gonna be like the Magic or someone like that are gonna come and pick him up, and they're gonna try to build their team around him, and it's not gonna work.
It's embarrassing. Like Mozgov, I remember when teams will always
Timothy?
reach. Yeah, they'll always reach. So
are you talking about whenever the Celtics signed him?
No, I'm saying when he had like that 4 year, maybe he went from
not Celtics, the Lakers.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Lakers.
he had 4 years, $64 million.
That was the most ridiculous contract I've ever seen.
You see what I'm saying? People
I was
will
like,
reach.
why are you giving this guy who was like the third string center on the Cavaliers all this money?
And that's
for 4 years.
And that's how it's gonna be with Terry Rozier. These teams are gonna reach just because he shows a little bit of flashes of skill on the Celtics, while Brad Stevens is the coach. It makes everybody look good.
Another quick question: where do you think he's gonna go? Because I don't think he's gonna stay in Boston. I really don't.
Nah, he could go to a team like the Pelicans or something, or really any team that needs a decent point guard. I think probably the Pelicans. Or
do you think that? No, the Pelicans couldn't be this. No, I don't think so. The Pelicans maybe like them doing like Boston doing a sign and trade for Anthony Davis.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Because you know that AD's probably gonna be like, hey, I'm getting out of here. Like he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna sign that extension. With New Orleans. So do you think that maybe Terry Rozier might be in the package for a sign and trade? Like he might do a sign and trade, and then maybe some other parts go to the Pelicans for Anthony Davis?
That would
because the Celtics are coming for AD.
They got all those assets too. I think that would be a good part of the package, but you have to give up a lot more than
Danny
that.
Ainge's gonna unload. I know it. I can feel it. He's gonna put all his cards on the table and be like,
he's
which
gonna
is
get
why
rid
the
of,
Lakers got to do something soon.
He's gonna get rid of all the good players except probably Jason Tatum. All the good young players except Jason Tatum. Because I think he'll offload Jaylen Brown, Rozier. Who else is kind of decent? He would actually get rid of Al Horford.
Yeah,
for
I
Anthony
could see that.
Davis.
Yeah, I could definitely.
I think if that would be a pretty fair trade. If he got rid of them three, that would be pretty fair, considering Anthony Davis is not going to re-sign.
And then they gotta bring Aaron Baines out.
Oh, good God, get ready.
But yeah, overall, I think that. And here's another question: do you think this might be an indication? Some people were talking, is Kyrie going to LA?
Why?
Could you imagine?
No,
could you imagine if Kyrie went to go play with LeBron again in LA? It's not going to happen.
That would be fun to see, but it would be
so fun to see. I love watching them play together. I love it.
I don't know.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I like seeing him play with Rondo because, they got two of the highest IQs in the NBA. Rondo, of course, got the highest.
They're both hurt right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they were
and the Lakers are kind of trash.
Hey, when they were both playing, Rondo and LeBron, the team looked good. They were moving that ball around, shaking, and passing.
Rondo, that was I know I keep saying this, but Rondo, that was kind of interesting. Him being okay with taking listening to LeBron and LeBron listening to Rondo. It seemed like there was a very a mutual respect there for each other's game.
Yeah, because they're both they're both in a different stratosphere in terms of intelligence level.
I-
So they
I've
can kind
never
of speak the
seen-
same language.
I don't know if I've ever seen LeBron so willingly just be like when Rondo will get the ball and then he'll point and like call out the offense. I don't know if I've ever seen LeBron be so willing to just.
That's what I'm
let that
saying.
go.
People always laugh at Rondo because I say Rondo's my favorite player. If that means something, if LeBron James delegates to Rondo and lets him run the point guard position, that says something about how smart of a player he actually is.